Hi everybody, if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if not, welcome back to another one of my videos. So recently, actually not so recently, it was a minute ago, I hit 1,000 subscribers. First up, once again, thank you guys so much. I know I said this a lot in my last video, but thank you so much. So I wanted to do a few new things to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. So my last video was one of those where I was like, oh, I think you guys are really gonna like this, and I'd really love to express my gratitude for 1,000. So that one was a really fun video. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying it. But the next one is one that just randomly came to mind, and that is giving my book friends very specific recommendations for a very specific trope. So I know this has been done before. I've seen a lot of like very specific trope recommendation videos, but I wanted to connect with my friends on BookTube and Bookstagram and just give them some recommendations. It was a little bit different. I was really excited and like really happy with myself that I thought of this. So I messaged not just a few friends on Instagram, I messaged way too many, and I was like, what are your favorite tropes? What's a very specific trope that you love? Because I would love to give you a recommendation and shout you out in my video. So like I said, I messaged a little too many people, so if you guys would like a part 2, please let me know. But yeah, I have 7 recommendations I think for this video. I have a few more that I can include in my next one, but my friends on Bookstagram, who may also be on BookTok or BookTube, gave me some awesome specific tropes to recommend for you guys if you're looking for one, and if not, then this video is just a huge thank you to them because they are awesome. So some of them asked for their name not to be included in this video, and so I'll obviously just not say their name. I'll say my friend on Instagram, but other ones I would like to give a very special shout out to, so I'll put their Instagram on the screen as well as link it in the description, so please make sure you're following them for some awesome Bookstagram content. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and let's get into the video. So my very lovely friend Yaz, or Yasmin, actually has 2 accounts, so they'll be on the screen and in the description. She is one of my biggest supporters on Instagram and on here. I appreciate her friendship so much. So she asked for a second chance enemies to lovers book. And my other very lovely friend on Instagram, KALISA, asked for a second chance friends or enemies to lovers forbidden romance recommendation. So I'm combining those two for this recommendation because they asked for some pretty similar tropes, and the book that I will be recommending fits all of them. So I'm going to be recommending Heartless Hero by Mary Catherine Gebhard because it is friends to lovers. They kind of meet a few years prior to when the book takes place. The heroine in this one is a really rich heiress, and she sees the hero, who's more of the lower class, on the side of the street, and there's something there, I don't quite remember it, but she ends up picking him up off the side of the street and hiring him. So they become friends first, which is already a little bit forbidden because, like I said, she's a very rich heiress and her family isn't very welcoming to newcomers or people who are not part of the elite or royalty kind of vibes, if you know what I mean. So they become friends first, something happens, he no longer works for her, he's sent away, but then he comes back as her bodyguard, and it is very much enemies to lovers. It is also a little bit of bully, so it's kind of like in between those two. So it kind of hits all of the tropes that these two asked for. So you have friends to lovers, you don't get to see too many flashbacks of them before, but it is obviously a trope in here, so then you have some of it, and then you have the second chance of them coming back together. You also have a little bit of forced proximity with your enemies to lovers because bodyguard romance, and then you have forbidden because he is not as elite as her family is, and good god, her mother is not okay with that. So yeah, Heartless Hero by Mary Catherine Gebhard fits all of these based on both of their reading tastes. I do think they'll enjoy this. Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't find something a little bit darker for you, but I do really think that both of them would love this. So if you're interested in any of those tropes that they requested, I think you would enjoy this book as well. So as you can tell, I'm not really going to be going into too much detail on the book. I'm just going to be listing the tropes for it. So if you're like me and you really like going in blind to a book, this is a perfect video for you, because if you find a trope you love or a plot that sounds like something you're into, then you could just put it on the TBR, not knowing too much about it, and then go in kind of blind. Then my friend Celine from Celine Reads Dark Romance requested a dark kidnapping romance, and she noted that she's already read the Santiago trilogy by Catherine Wilshire, as well as Twist Me, or the Twist Something series by Anna Zares, which I actually haven't read yet. It's on my TBR, but she just took my like first recommendation that was on the tip of my tongue, which is the Santiago trilogy. So I had to do a little bit of digger deeping, and I know she really loves darker romance, so I think I found the perfect one. And that one is Pageant by Lilith Vincent. This one is a dark as fuck. Like truly, this is one of the darkest books I've read, at least this month, but definitely overall. Sorry, actually that was last month, not this month. I don't know where the time's going, but either way, this this one is a very dark enemies to lovers kidnapping romance. So this is reverse harem as well. So you have a few different tropes. With one of the guys, you have second chance. With all of them, you have enemies to lovers. And each guy obviously has their own different personality. But yeah, basically, this is a pageant for them, or specifically one of them, to find his next wife. So they kidnap, I think it's 16 models off of the street of like Milan or something. And the heroine is one of them. This is definitely a book where the heroine is not meek. She is not weak. She is very strong, and we love to see it, especially when she has 3 extremely mean, extremely rude Russian mafia men who absolutely hate her. So this one, like I said, it's super dark. It's very much enemies to lovers. This one is a duet, and the second book comes out August 3rd, I believe. So I think Celine would really like this because it's darker, it's kidnapping, and kind of captor as well. And I'm pretty sure she likes mafia as well, so I really hope she likes this one. And I'm very sorry to all of you if you've read this or if you're going to read this, because the second book doesn't come out for a little bit. But even as I'm saying that, it's June 25th as I'm filming this, so it's not actually that long of a wait. So then my friend Kendra from Of Stars and Pose asked for a caretaking romance. And I don't actually read a lot of caretaking romances or romances that have large caretaking scenes in them, but the first one that came to mind was My Kind of Monster by Lilith Roman. And from what I can tell, Kendra doesn't read a lot of darker romance. She kind of sticks to darker contemporary or just contemporary. So I'm sorry, Kendra, this one is a little bit darker, but y'all know that's what I love the most. So this one is a captor kind of romance. The heroine, Suki, is actually held captive by another person, and then she gets away and finds Nikolai, who is the hero in this one, and then kind of is held a little bit captive by him, but not really. I thought it was like a little bit of her staying there because she wanted to. So yeah, this one definitely has caretaking because when she gets to him, she is definitely wounded. Her scars inside and out take a while to heal. So this one is the one that stuck out to me as the most caretaking romance I've read, but like I said, I haven't read all that many, so I did my best for this one. Regardless of this trope being in there, I do really recommend this book. I had a fantastic time reading it, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous. I love the aesthetic, and I really recommend it if you're looking for a romance with caretaking, but also just in general. Okay, then one of my friends on Instagram was looking for a arranged marriage or marriage of convenience mafia romance with a toucher and I kill you hero, and possibly a little bit of the good girl bad boy trope. So that one was really specific, and I kind of had to go through my list for a bit, but I think I found one. It is not a standalone, unfortunately, and that is The Finisher by Rune X. So this one is not only all of those tropes, it is also childhood friends to lovers, a bit of second chance, underground fighter romance, and grumpy sunshine with forced proximity. So this one follows Zephyr and Alpha. His name is actually Alpha, yeah. They have a bit of a past, like I've said, but she comes to him after one of his fights and proposes a marriage of convenience. He's kind of confused as to why, but they end up going through with it. So I really enjoyed the Grumpy Sunshine part of this. I'm not a huge fan of Grumpy Sunshine, and I've only read a few, but this one I did really enjoy. Also, the marriage of convenience was awesome in this one. The forced proximity was so good, and it's definitely toucher and I'll kill you. I don't remember an exact instance of there being that, but he is definitely protective and very possessive of her. And a touch of good girl bad boy. Obviously, he's in the mafia or stepping away from the mafia. He's an underground fighter. She hasn't done any of that, so it's a bit of a difference for her, but I really enjoyed this one. I think it fits these tropes pretty well. It was a little difficult for me to find it, but I think this one is great for it. This is book 3 in a series, and you do need to read the rest of the series before you read this one, so my apologies, but like I've said before, I absolutely love this whole series. And then I asked my friend Audrey, who's actually also on BookTube. She uploaded a few videos, I think a few months ago, and then kind of stopped uploading, so you guys need to go subscribe to her right now and encourage her to upload some more because I absolutely loved her videos. That was before I even had my channel, and I was obsessed with her videos. She's such a natural at it, and I'm trying to convince her to come back to BookTube, so any support in that would be appreciated. Obviously, her channel and her Instagram will be in the description, but we both share a love for books with the Halloween kind of vibe. She is a very avid paranormal reader, definitely more than I am, so she asked for a dark paranormal that was a reverse harem, and unfortunately I have not read one of those, but one that I do think she really needs to read that is darker, paranormal, and also has another trope that I think she'll love, which is motorcycle romances, is The Sacrifice by Jessica Gaziella. I've talked about this one a few times, and I think y'all can see how much I gush about it every time. I know she really likes spooky books, we both do. She likes paranormal, and I've seen her with a few motorcycle romances, so I really think she'll like this one. It is also shorter, so it's a really quick, easy read to get through, but this one follows our heroine who's from a witch coven who is the sacrifice to the local demons, and she falls in love with one of the guys there while she's kind of held captive. Not really. It's not really like harmfully captive. Like she's just chilling while they do nothing to her. So yeah, this one is paranormal. There's shapeshifters, witches, demons, and a few other things, but those were the key ones that I remembered. Well, it is not reverse harem, it is darker, it is motorcycle, it is paranormal, and I think she'll really like it. Also, the one that I instantly thought of when she asked for this was a book by Katie Robert that I'm pretty sure is called Sacrifice, and this one is a short series of novellas. I believe there's 3 of them. I've only read 2, so I didn't want to fully include it as a recommendation because that was also last Halloween and I don't fully remember it, but this one is paranormal and it is reverse harem, and I really loved it. I did not continue on in the series though, so this one is just like a honorable mention, not an actual recommendation. And then my friend from Instagram, Reading in Darkness, who actually found my channel I think last February or maybe January, so I was like at the very start of it, I think it was like my 3rd video or something, said she was feeling in the vibe for a kidnapping romance, a dark college romance with a bickering couple. So found one that I think she'll enjoy. I also mentioned at the beginning of this the other dark kidnapping one, but one that is also kind of kidnapping, a bit more captive captor, that is darker and has a college kind of feel to it, is The Darkest Hour by Delaney Foster. This one could be read as a standalone, but obviously for all series I'd recommend you read the series for utmost enjoyment. But this one, like I said, it's darker, it gives college vibes, and they're college age, but they're not like in college. It is also a bit of kidnapping, captive captor, and it's enemies to lovers, so you know there's some bickering. I don't think I'm gonna say too much about this one. The tropes are kind of giving enough away. I did really enjoy this one. It's kind of a royalty romance as well, so definitely I think she'll like this one, and if she doesn't, then she'll definitely like the other dark kidnapping one that I mentioned before. Okay, my next friend, I asked her for the spelling of her name because I really didn't want to mess it up, because I really don't like when people mess up my name, even though it's not that hard. I don't really know how people do it, but it happens a lot. So my friend IHSSANE, I'm like fingers crossed that I got that right, requested a single parent, grumpy sunshine, arranged marriage, forced proximity romance. And honestly, I hate the single parent trope. Like the ones that I've read, I absolutely did not like. So I've recently learned that I should not read single parent romances. And like I said before, I enjoy Grumpy Sunshine, but it's not my favorite. So I did find one that kind of gives off Grumpy Sunshine without single parent, but with forced proximity and arranged marriage. And that one is A Vow of Hate by Lila James. This one is an arranged marriage romance between Killian and Juliana. Killian was in love with Juliana's sister, who recently passed away in an accident where Juliana was also in the car, so she's really recovering from that, both physically and mentally, and Killian just absolutely hates her because he thinks that she killed the love of his life. So this one is full of mystery, suspense, thrills. It is kind of got a gothic vibe as well, because the majority of this book takes place on a castle on an island, and it's kind of haunted, and there's some stories, so it is definitely enemies to lovers. There's some things that get explained in this one that are like, whoa, is that really how it goes? And I absolutely loved it. I love this book. Definitely forced proximity, especially with that enemies to lovers and an arranged marriage. I really enjoyed this one, and I hope she does too, because it has almost all the tropes that she recommended. Okay, you guys, that one felt like an extra long video, but that is my list for all of my lovely Instagram friends, and of course anyone else watching if they enjoy those tropes. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video very soon.